Hey everyone, this is Coach Sybil Kearse. I am coming to be an encouragement. Someone needs to hear this. Hang on. Listen, talking about Noah, we may have heard this sermon preached. We may have heard people give all type of messages from it. But for those that need it today, you got to understand something. Noah was given instructions to build something for something that had never happened before. Noah was told to build an ark. God told him to build an ark. Noah did it. Now, for us today, we've experienced being on a boat, a cruise, some type of ship. We have been in the waters. We have experienced flooding, rain, storms. We've experienced that at some point in our lives. Is it safe to say that we have? I agree. At this point in time, it had never rained. It had never rained on the earth. And God told Noah to build an ark. Noah had to have crazy faith. He had to have faith beyond measure to build something that he didn't understand how it was going to work or to what degree it was going to be beneficial to him and his family. He just knew that God said, do it. And his faith said, I'm going to go ahead and get it done. Sometimes when you have faith beyond measure, when you have that crazy faith, you're going to look crazy until it rains. Listen, can you picture the scenario? Here you have a man, an ordinary man, a family man, raising his kids, having children with his wife, trying to make a living. And suddenly he starts this project. Suddenly he starts this thing to build. He's gathering the supplies from various areas on the earth that was already there for him. He was given the instructions on how to build it, almost precisely to the T. He went and did it, not having any prior skills on building this particular object, but he did it based off the instructions that he received from God, accompanied with his faith. Listen, somebody is not stepping out on their faith. They're afraid to do something. They're concerned about how crazy they're going to look. You're concerned about not doing something because you've seen somebody else doing something similar. So you're saying, I don't want to do it because they might think I'm copying them. Listen, if God told you to do it, he gave you what the means to do it, the instruction to do it, the tools, the supplies, the knowledge to do it. Who are you to say that you can't do it? What if Noah would have said, God, I don't understand what an ark is for. Having never heard of anything called rain, I don't see why I got to build this, God. And matter of fact, somebody else will probably do it. How would the narrative of Noah's life change? How would the narrative of history change? You see, you have to understand that God chose you to do something. The same way he can choose anybody, he chose you specifically, gave you the vision. He called you to do something. And let me tell you something, that call wasn't a conference call, so you don't need anybody else's approval. You've been approved by God to do what he told you to do. He's equipped you. He's given you what you need. He's given you the instructions. He's given you the knowledge to do it. And you still sit over there second guessing yourself. Listen, you are over there second guessing yourself. And the whole time other people is intimidated by what you can do because God is in you. He's told you to go do it. So what are you waiting for? You're going to have to look crazy, but trust me, when the rain comes, it would all make sense. When the rain comes, people will say, aha. When the rain comes, somebody's going to wish that they would have treated you differently, that they would have treated you better. When the rain comes and people start to see how God manifests what he placed inside of you, it will make sense. Don't be sitting over there letting somebody else intimidate you from doing what God called you to do. He put it in your hands. He said, use it. What do you have in your hands? What do you have in your brain? What do you have in your vision? What do you have in your journal? What have you written down and made it plain that you still sitting on because you're worried about what other people think? Can you imagine what Noah's wife thought? Can Can you imagine what his children was thinking? Can you imagine what the community was thinking? Here he is building this monstrosity of a thing that nobody ever seen before, did not ever experience rain to know that that's what it could be used for. He spent many years. It is believed that he spent 55 to 75 years of his life building this particular ark. Do you understand the commitment that he took? Do you understand the dedication that it took? Do you understand that he was not going to give up? Can you imagine how tired he was? Can you imagine how some days some things didn't fit right, didn't work right? He had to start all over again. Do you know what it took? Do you think that art came easily? No, it didn't. But one thing he learned to appreciate what it was used for after all was said and done. Appreciate what God is training you and preparing you for. No, it's not going to be easy to start the business. No, it's not going to be easy to start the ministry. No, it's not going to be easy to accept the call on your life. No, it's not going to be easy to get up out your comfort zone. But who are you to tell God that he can't use you? Who are you to tell God that you're not good enough for what he's already placed in you? Who are you to second guess what God done and chose you to do? Who are you? Now ask yourself, who is the God in you? Noah was looked at like he was crazy, and he didn't let it stop him. So if people look at you like you're crazy while you're building your dream, let them look. If people look at you like they can't believe what you're doing and it doesn't make sense, let them be confused. The Bible said that the things will start to confuse people, especially the ones who think they know it all. They're going to be confounded. So let them be confused. Do what God told you to do. This is not the time to sit back and wait. This is not the time to sit down on God. This is not the time when he's already called you and equipped you to do it. Your family's not going to see your vision. Some of them are not even going to support you. Do you know in all the businesses I had, most of the people that supported me were people I didn't know. But don't you know God is so good that he can place your name in rooms your feet haven't been in? Don't you know he can place you on someone's heart that you have never met? Your support may not always come from those immediately around you, and it's okay to not look for them because it'll be disappointing. But if you keep your focus on God, if you keep remembering who and what you're doing it for to begin with, if you could keep remembering that he chose you, not people, you don't need to be approved by man because you've been approved by God. And expect him to do the mighty work, not people. You will find yourself less disappointed when the ones you thought who would support you don't. When the ones who you thought would be behind you are the one talking behind you. Come on, somebody. Listen, if he called you to it, he will bring you through it. No more are we going to sit here and wait and wonder why we doing something because someone else did it or doing it or might, should have, would have, could have. Listen. Every copy has to have an original. Can't exist without one. So even if someone else is doing something, doesn't mean you're copying them. You could be the original in the way you do it. Do we only have one beauty shop? Or do we have many? Do we only have one barbershop, one restaurant? No, there are many because everybody does their thing a little way different. So who are you to say God is not good enough, great enough, awesome enough to put in you something good, great, and awesome? Don't you dare compare yourself because God is the one and only person, the one and only God that says you can. Yes, you can. And that alone will let you know that it's time to go and get it done. No matter how long it takes, be committed, be dedicated, show up every day. If you have to learn from your mistakes, learn from it and keep moving forward. Sometimes you're going to have to back up and go back in. That's all right because you're being prepared and equipped. But don't you run from it. Don't you dare run from it. There's something great that God wants to do specifically through you. And no matter how many other people got the sauce, baby, you the secret sauce. Okay? You're the original. So keep going. Keep doing it. Don't give up. And if you haven't started yet, make your one day, day one. Today is day one. Start whatever it is. Because it's about to rain. It's about to all make sense. And the people who doubted you, oh my. They're gonna want a seat at your table, because them tables are gonna turn. And here's something I want you to take with you before we end. Never hate on anybody who hated on you. Always want to see them eat. Just remember, not everybody's meant to eat at your table. Okay? They could eat over there, but don't mean you're going to eat over here. Keep going and moving forward in the things of God. You will not be disappointed. I can't wait to see how this will manifest in your life, because there's a future waiting to be unlocked, and you're the key. You're the key to the door waiting to be unlocked. You better go ahead and get it done, because time waits for no one. Opportunity waits for no one. And if God put it in you, he did it for a reason. That you don't need to doubt. I hope that you will go ahead and step out on faith and do what you got to do. Even if it makes you look crazy, let them look. Because guess what? The rain is going to come. Hallelujah. Much love and success. God bless.